Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a very special guest, though for internet safety reasons and just because I don't want my child's face on the interwebs. He will not be appearing in the video, but his voice will be here, and in addition to his face not appearing in this video, I will also not say his name. So for the purposes of internet safety, my child will now introduce himself. Child.
Hello.
Okay, so I have told my son to pick me some books. It took a very interesting turn. You'll see why in a little bit. So first I'm going to go through the clips that we have already filmed for the picking of these books. And so this portion will be a little choppy here. But the first book we selected was on my bookshelf. He picked Girl A by Abigail Dean. Tell us why you picked this book.
Before I talk about that, by the way, it did take me a long time to pick a book online.
It took you a long time to pick a book everywhere.
Online mostly.
Yeah. The reason that my child picked this book is why?
Because your name's on it.
Because he thought that the book was called Abigail Dean. So he was picking a book with his mother's name in the title. So this is this book, and of course this is I believe it's shelved as a thriller or a mystery on Goodreads. So I will go ahead and tell you what I know about that. I guess this is about a girl who is part of a family, and I think the family is abusive, and I think it follows two timelines. I think it's the girl present day and then the girl growing up. It's gonna be something. This is Girl A. I got this from Book of the Month, and it is by Abigail Dean. The next thing I had my son do was pick me out a book online. One book, one singular book. Here is the footage for that. Okay, so here we are on Book Depository. My child already knows certain things are getting vetoed, things I have already read, things I already own. I can't remember what else I'm vetoing.
You're videoing what you've already read, what you have, what you don't want.
Right.
How about the King of Horror? How about the King of Horror?
Stephen King?
Yeah.
I own a lot of Stephen King, but
You own later?
No, I don't.
This?
I don't own it.
You want it?
It's not about what I want. It's about what you want. Oh God.
What? What?
That book.
What?
It scares me.
Why?
I'm terrified of it. What are you looking for?
Chicken.
What?
The house chicken legs. Midnight chicken soup for the soul 20th anniversary edition. So much laughter.
Can you please make a decision?
You wouldn't want this anyway. It's already one. And you want
Are you talking about this one?
no, this one. The Harry Potter one. You would have wanted 3192. What's 1999?
It's a cookbook.
Don't you want to cook wonderful chicken?
I'm not reading a cookbook. Five items. Oh God, scroll down. You have two of those, that's why. I am not getting the chicken butt notebook. I'm not getting it. That's not a book to read. So you can pick one book.
Out of these 4?
Uh-huh. Out of those
4?
3.
4.
We're moving the chicken right now. And we're getting rid of one of these. We only need one of those in the cart for you to make a decision. Alright. Those are your 3 options.
Choose this
Later?
one.
No.
I choose that in the Midnight Library.
You're doing 2? Alright. I'll allow it this time, but not tomorrow. You see that it turned into 2 books. We have The Midnight Library by Matt Haig and Later by Stephen King. So what brought you to make these selections?
Which one shall I do first?
This one.
Okay, The Midnight Library, it sort of sounded interesting when I read it.
What brought you to select this book? Stephen King?
It seems like in the background right there you have the whole series of Stephen King, and I thought you might like getting another book of Stephen King since he's the king of horror.
Okay, so that is Later by Stephen King. And then the next thing that I did was take my child to the bookstore where he was meant to pick one book. Here's the footage for that. Carefully, slowly walk. This is general fiction.
Okay.
See anything that's sticking out to you? You're not getting me on camera.
I don't know.
Back up some. So that they can see more of it. This is good. Alright, you can walk around.
Remember that thing that we did, the long bright river?
Yeah, I see it. Go.
Deep river.
You're not supposed to be getting here.
You guys see anything I should pick? By the way, this is at Barnes & Nobles.
You don't have to pick anything from here. You can go to another place. I think I already have this one.
Neither of us know for sure.
We're gonna go back to romance. You need to back up some so they can see it better.
I'm thinking this one.
Walk.
This I don't know. I finally decided, and we are doing a lace or
Not the Girl You Marry by Andy J. Christopher. All right, grab it.
and maybe
2?
yes.
Is that what you want to get? On the day that we are
filming this clip, Dogman Mothering Heights was released, and it is my son's favorite book series, so of course we had to pick that one up while we were here.
You can see my son once again selected 2 books. So, what brought you to select this one?
Cover.
Okay, this was a cover buy.
The cover
Uh-huh.
just seemed interesting. The back image.
Okay, so you know that this is a sci-fi fantasy? Mom's favorite. And then this
Is
one...
it actually?
No.
Is it your least favorite?
This is a romance book. It's called Not the Girl You Marry. What brought you to this selection?
Puppy dog.
Okay, so this was a little bit of a cover buy. So this one is about Jack Nolan is a gentleman, a journalist, and unlucky in love. And I guess he had some viral success, and he's got an internet media company. I don't know, but basically he meets Hannah, and Hannah is an extremely successful event planner who is focused on climbing the career ladder. So I guess romance ensues. Now with this one, I believe I've heard of it, but I wasn't necessarily super interested in picking it up, which is sort of the whole purpose of this video. And then for this one, this is, I guess, a sci-fi fantasy King Arthur retelling, so I guess that's pretty neat. I mean, I like King Arthur. I like the, the legend of King Arthur and all that, so this could be a good time, barring any crazy, insane, sci-fi, fantastical plot. Maybe I'll just, I don't know. This will be a time, okay? Whether a good time or a bad time, we don't know, but this is going to be a time. Definitely see these 2 contemporary-ish books being good dividers for Girl A and Stephen King. These ones are definitely going to be, as far as genre goes, these are definitely going to be the most similar, I think. Of course, this is a crime book, and then this one is, I think it's a thriller, but regardless, I think those are going to definitely be good dividers between these 2. And then honestly, I don't know. I have no idea. I almost want to save the best for last and start with the worst, but I am going to let my child decide at least the first book that I read, and we'll go from there. Of course, this will be a vlog style video, so you will get to see what is happening as it happens. I want to allow him to pick the book that I start with, and then I am giving myself permission to DNF if I just can't, if I literally just cannot, if I just cannot, I will DNF it. I'm hoping that is not going to be something that happens, but I can't risk putting myself in a reading slump for some young adult sci-fi fantasy, which I'm borderline terrified of. So with that being said,
you should have told me.
It was an experiment. You're gonna pick the books that I read, and that's how it goes. My son has chosen for me to start with Midnight Library. I'm not sure if this was a good decision or a bad decision, but I guess we will find out. Good afternoon, friends. I just read 30-something pages, 37 pages of this book. So far, I kind of know what it's about, so my hair looks terrifying, and I can't find my sunglasses, so everything is fine. I'm fine, you're fine, everything's fine. Anyways, so this book, from what I can gather, of course my son did read the synopsis, but I don't know, I guess we're at the stage where we're just sort of coming to the point where we're thinking we're going to try and die. Probably heavy warning on the heavy trigger warning for suicide in this one. We've gotten to the point where we want to die, and we've just gotten to the library, the Midnight Library, the book that this is, the library that this is, the book is about. I'm gonna go. Between the sun and between the fact that I've only read 38 pages, I don't have much to say. Alright, thanks for being here. So we are gonna go get some chilies, and I'm gonna time-lapse it.
You say you're a vampire and you're burning in the light. Stuck watching movies, I can't stand the black and white. I'm finally torn up enough to see the other side, but I'll take some time.
Hello, my loves. This is the part where I tell you, catch you up on all the things that I've been reading or haven't been. So let's go over the most glaring, most significant thing between this clip and the clip previous. It's been like 2 weeks. So when I initially started this experiment, let me roll my windows up so that it is okay in here for you to hear me. I might sweat and die, but it's been a while. You know what? I'm gonna crack a window or two. Anyways, so in the previous clip, I'm not sure if I've updated you since I finished the Midnight Library. Nothing really wrong with it, just wasn't for me. If I'm being honest with myself and you guys, basically, I think that like realistic contemporary fiction without a romantic subplot or main plot is not for me. So I don't like to read about the real world. I want to read, I love the real world because I don't like fantasy or science fiction all that much. But I guess, I don't know, I guess life is the thing. I guess that's the problem that I'm having, because the Invisible Life of Addie LaRue has a very like life and like it's very oriented about humanity and like living and like mortality, and that's just, for some reason, for whatever reason, that's just not for me. Between that one and the Midnight Library by Matt Haig, neither one tickled my fancy. And they're both really loved books, and the only thing that I can think about, other than the fact that they're super popular and most people like them, is the fact that they both deal with mortality, humanity, things like that. And those things are not super for me. Like, Matt Haig's writing is quite beautiful. Victoria Schwab's writing is also beautiful, but for me, the writing isn't necessarily the entire, like, I base it more off the stories and like things like that rather than the writing. Like, obviously writing is important, because without writing, you're not really writing a book, but I don't know. It's just a little confusing for me, I guess, because both of them were really heavy trigger warning on suicide and the taking of one's own life for the Midnight Library. So with the trigger warnings out of the way, I guess I'll talk about what I liked and didn't like. So what I liked was the idea that you could swap lives if you weren't enjoying that one, and sort of like your story is unwritten and stuff like that. That's cool. I enjoyed that part, but I literally didn't like anything else. I feel like there was a character whose name currently slips my mind. He was another whatever kind of person they called it. He was another person that was in like a library type deal, but his was a bookstore. No, his was a video rental store. So I didn't like the plot with him. I really liked her being Nora. I really liked her sort of going through the motions of sort of realizing and identifying what about life that she doesn't like. So that was good. So I finished that one in about a week, which is kind of bad, I'm not gonna lie. And then I started on Later by Stephen King. I am about, like almost halfway through this book, because the book's only like 260 pages or so, and I'm on page 118. Oh Lord, it is hot, and this truck in front of me is hella loud. Anyways, what did I like about the first half of that book is like that it's kind of creepy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of creepy and it's kind of good, and this is probably one of the better Stephen Kings that I've read, but I wonder if that has more to do with the fact that it's written from somebody who's almost my age rather than like a 30 to 40 to 50-year-old writer, with Salem's Lot. I didn't particularly, oh, this guy's gonna cut me off, love that for me. I liked Salem's Lot, but like the writing was too thick. It was too descriptive, whereas this writing was just
sort of matter of fact, if it, in a way of speaking, I guess. This one is about a boy who can low-key, high-key see spirits, and his mom is a agent, I believe, and his mom's friend is a cop, and it's sort of about later, like we're going through his life and we're getting it bit and pieces of it here and there. It's not told, like, it's told linearly, but it's not told sequentially, and that we're getting everything from this point to this point. We're getting bits and pieces, knowing full well that he's a 22-year-old man when he's telling us these things. So I'm not really sure what the end goal is going to be, because I haven't finished it, but I had to take a step back because I'm not sure what about my child's writing was my child's writing. I'm not sure what about my child's picks were just not working for me. But when I initially started this experiment, I didn't think that it would be difficult to read, because I just got back in the swing of things when it came to reading. I read like 12 books in the month of March after not having read for over a year. So I was pretty excited to hop into it and really get going and experience some different kinds of books, because I figured that it would sort of, one, put me out of my comfort zone slightly, because I knew that my son wasn't going to pick books that I necessarily had a super interest in. I have heard of all of the books that he selected, and obviously, you know, Stephen King, who hasn't heard of Stephen King? And then when it came time for A Girl A, that was obviously on my shelf, so I knew about it. Then romance, I like romance, and then for the Midnight Library, I knew about that one going into it, and I had shown mild interest in it when I was listening to other people talk about it. But I think that one of the most amazing things about BookTube is that you can get pitched a book by somebody who likes it, or get turned off of a book by somebody who doesn't like it. And I think that that's sort of where it was. I was being pitched a book that I knew I wasn't going to enjoy by somebody that that was enjoying it, and then you add my son making the selection in there, and I wound up getting it. So for the other book that he picked, it was Once and Future. This was the final book that he selected. This is a YA science fiction fantasy retelling of King Arthur, and I am 52 pages in it, 51 pages actually, and I can tell that it's YA, okay? I can for sure tell that it is YA. This is not writing for adults. So that's sort of something that I'm working through, because it's told about a 16-year-old girl. Meanwhile, I'm literally a decade older than her, and I sort of stopped reading YA recently. I want to get back into it because YA is kind of my happy place. Like, I always said growing up that I would never read adult literature because it's all about sex or murder. And now, what am I reading about? Sex and murder. But I digress. I am looking forward to getting back into YA, and I feel like this is a really good jump start so far. If you ever saw the TV show Merlin, it was on Netflix. It was a BBC thing. It was super good. I loved it. So I'm sort of going into that with the expectation that this will be like space opera meets that show. And sometimes I have good luck with space operas. For example, the Illuminae Files. Dude, I loved the Illuminae Files. So if I just put in my mindset that this is a King Arthur retelling set in a Illuminae Files setting, then I feel like I can get through it. The writing isn't bad. It doesn't feel poorly written as of yet. I do find myself sort of skimming back and having to reread sections, sometimes entire pages, because I missed something, only to find out that no, I hadn't missed anything. It just wasn't really in-depthly explained. So that could be confusing. I don't know if that's a me thing and I'm just like dumb, or if it's like if other people are experiencing this. So I don't know how many people have read it, reviewed it, etc. I haven't done any research on it. I typically save my research, well, now that I'm on BookTube, I don't save my research for after I read it. I'm gonna save my research for after I tell you my thoughts, because I like to, when I review something or give my thoughts on something, I always like to go into it without preconceived notions and without biases. And I can only do that if I don't put those biases and preconceived notions in front of myself. So I don't know what other people are thinking about it, and that's fine. That works for me. It's typically like how I like to go into my books anyway. But I'm just, that part where I have to keep rereading parts of it, that's starting to throw me off a little bit. Either way, it should be fine. So tonight, what do I have to do tonight? Tonight is Wednesday. I typically put a book video up on Wednesday. However, I actually stopped reading this collection of books to start reading something else. I read Second First Impressions. Last Wednesday I put the video up of me actually going to purchase it. Well, last Wednesday for me. I don't know when it's going to be for you, because if it's anything, if the second half of this video is going to be anything like the first half, you could see this in December. But anyways, I went and picked that book up on the Tuesday it released, and then I vlogged it and I put that video up on the Wednesday. And when I finished with it, I was underwhelmed. So what did I decide to do? I decided to reread the first and second one, because I had sort of a hypothesis and a theory. And that's going to be tonight's video that I filmed tonight that will go up on Thursday. And because I'm filming it on Wednesday, it won't go up until Thursday. So that means that my Saturday book video is going to be pushed until Sunday. I'm sure that it's fine, but I like to stick to a schedule. But anyways, I'm just going to grab my kid real quick. We're going to go pick up 2 items from Target, and we're going to have nachos tonight, right after tacos. I don't know if that was a good idea, but anyways, I will update you when I have made further progress in any of these books. Good afternoon, my loves. I am here. Ambulance. I'm here with a once and future update. I am like about 100 pages through. Look at my cute little astronaut bookmark. Isn't he so handsome? Oh, I love him. And then the back side looks like that. Anyways, I'm actually enjoying it. And I do have to eat my words a little bit here, because I was not thinking that I was going to like it at all. But I will admit when I was wrong. Doesn't happen very often, so I don't have a problem doing it. But basically, I just didn't think I was gonna like it, because it's science fiction, it's fantasy, it's YA, and all 3 of those are things I've been having a hard time with lately. So I wasn't sure if I was gonna vibe with it. Turns out vibing I am, and I actually liked it so much that I actually bought the second one. I know that I won't be reading it for this vlog, but that could be another fun vlog that we do, maybe, like reading follow-ups to fantasy novels that I let sit on the back burner, maybe. What do you think? Let me know. So I also have to update you on a couple things regarding this vlog, where it is April 22nd. So it's very likely this vlog will not be up in April, which is kind of a bummer, because I really wanted to have this one up in April. I have another vlog planned for April as well, but I think the library, the Midnight Library by Matt Haig, really kind of put me out a little bit. And then I picked up later immediately after that. And I think all of this is stemming from the fact that I really want to reread The Song of Achilles. I ended up taking a break in between and reading Second First Impressions, and then listening to The Hating Game and 99% Mine, which you already probably know. So that's that. So this book, or this month, is looking like a limited number of books being read, but I can't even say quality over quantity, because obviously I liked the 2 that I reread, and I didn't like the other 2. So I wanted to say quality over quantity, but, well, we'll see. I've got, I'm halfway through the Stephen King, which I'm not hating. I'm just I'm not like wanting to pick it up for some reason. So that's going to be something I'm going to force myself to do probably, or I'll listen to an audio. This, however, is turning out to be pretty good in my humble opinion. And I do believe that the reason that I'm liking this so much is actually, oh my God, now we're breaking. It's always something, I swear. Anyways, I think the reason that I liked this one, I'm gonna roll my windows up a little bit, and I'm also going to get away from behind this jerk face who doesn't know how to drive. Anyway, there was nobody in front of him, and I can see in front of him, but anyways, that's besides the point. This guy's just trying to get into an accident, and it ain't gonna be with me, baby. When I initially went into it, I was like, oh, it's science fiction, it's fantasy, it's YA, all those things are things that I've been struggling with. But the thing that I did not take into account is that I really, really like Arthurian legends and things like that. So I'm just vibing with this on a different frequency than I thought. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and say this is a perfect book. I'm not even going to say it's a great book. A lot of the writing feels a little juvenile, and like I said yesterday, I do find myself sort of having to backtrack quite a bit, and I still have to do that. However, I'm vibing with it on some kind of other level, which I am not mad at it. Listen, if I can vibe with it enough to finish it and want to pick up the second one, good job, baby, good job. My child done did a good job. Not with the Midnight Library, though. You know what? I'm not even sure if I'm even gonna like Girl A, because I'd seen some things about it. I'm gonna push through it. I already own it. It's not like I had to buy it for this vlog, but even if I did, that's even more of a reason to push through it. But Later and the Midnight Library are the 2 that he picked from offline, whereas this one in the romance he picked from in store, and then Girl A obviously off my shelf. But anyways, I'm gonna go. I want to listen to an audiobook now, not of this, just another audiobook that I want to start and get read by the end of the month, and I know I can do it if I just do it, so I'm going to do that. Alright, thank you, I will see you in the next clip. This guy is trying, really? You're going to cut me off again? Alright, I gotta go.
Hello, long time no see, no speak. So, you remember from the previous clips, I read this one, gave it 3 stars. Let me update you on this one. So I hopped right in from Midnight Library to this one. I ended up finishing this one, but not before I started this one. And I believe I filmed a clip. I may not have. So I'm going to go ahead and say it here, and then if I did end up filming that clip, I'll just delete it. So anyways, I put this one down because I wasn't really loving it, but then I hopped into this one. And I wasn't sure if I was going to like this. I was just kind of starting it just to get it through, because I don't really love science fiction and I don't really love sci-fi. Oh, that's the same thing. I don't really love science fiction. I don't love fantasy. And it's YA, and all 3 of those things have been things that I've sort of been struggling with lately. But I forgot that I love Arthurian myths and legends and stuff like that. So my love for like King Arthur and Camelot and all that really like took a hold of me, to the point where I finished this one in like, I think 3 days, and after completing like 100 pages, I went ahead and ordered the second one. I didn't realize it was a duology. So is it a duology, or is there a third one? Hold on, let's see. If there's a third one, I'm gonna have to get that too, because I'm gonna need it. Okay, it looks like, yeah, it looks like that's it. But regardless, I did pick this one up, and I intend to read it sometime in May, hopefully. I really definitely want to prioritize getting this one done before like too much time has passed, so I don't have to reread this one. But like Okay, so is it the best written book ever? No. But I really loved it. It's a, the way that I've been sort of compartmentalizing it is it's like Illuminae Files meets King Arthur, and perfect. It's perfection of the two. It's like if those two had a baby. However, there were some things that I didn't particularly love about it. There was some times where I got confused, you know, for the previous clips that happened to me, and I did really believe that it was my fault, so I kept going back. But the farther and deeper into the book I went, I continue to have these things, so it couldn't have been like a one-off situation. I mean, I remember having to reread a certain section 3 times because it didn't make sense to me. Like, for example, they are going from Ketch to Earth, and it just didn't even make sense to me that they were on Old Earth or whatever they were calling it. And so I'm still thinking they're on Ketch, and then I'm like, wait, that doesn't make sense for how Ketch is described. And then finally I realized that they're on Earth. I don't remember them expressly saying it. I ended up rereading the passage a couple times. My love for all the positive things definitely outweighed the negative, and I ended up buying the second one. And oh my god, look how cute they look next to each other. Yes, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So after I started and finished that one, I ended up picking this one back up. This one's a little one. It's like 260-ish pages. No, 248 pages. So it's a crime / horror. I liked it a lot, but I think that the reason it wasn't like particularly jiving with me in that moment would be because I wasn't in the mood for it. And like now, going from, hold on, I have like 6 books in front of me. Going from this one and then hopping into this one, it made me even more upset than when I went from this one to this one. So I ended up finishing both of these books on the same day. So this one took me 3 days, this one took me like 2 weeks to read. I kind of sucked on that one, but oh well. And then as soon as I was done with that one, I hopped into Not the Girl You Marry. So I am exactly 80 pages into this book. So far I'm liking it. Apparently this one is about, I don't know how many synopsises I've given. If you don't know what a synopsis is, it's like when, you know, like when you say I have to edit something and you're like, okay, I edited it, and it doesn't sound right, so you just keep saying edit. That's a synopsis. I don't know how many times I gave the synopses of this one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it again just in case I didn't. So actually I do believe I gave this one. Anyways, it feels like, I'm gonna be honest, it feels very convenient, but in an okay way. Like, Once and Future felt pretty convenient at times. Like I was like, oh, that's convenient. This one feels convenient in a more digestible way, if that makes sense. So they're both sort of having struggles with, not necessarily struggles with work, but they're both having a situation that would benefit from having a significant other, even if it's temporary for a time. So that's happening. It's convenient, but I'm not minding it. I will say that I've had to read a couple passages in this book over and over again as well. I think I read something 3 times. The switch from talking about Hannah's friend Sasha to talking about Hannah as far as like past relationships and stuff like that. I had to reread it 3 times before I realized they were talking, like, it was a subtle switch there. It was super subtle that it I didn't catch it. So this is the final book that I have to read for this vlog. This one is a little bit bigger than the rest of them, I think. This one's 340. The rest of them were under, I think, 342. It is, I've heard mixed things about it now that I have already purchased it, so I'm kind of worried about it, but worst case scenario, I'll find a copy of it, an audio copy so that I can get through it quickly. So that is this little update. Please enjoy this different view. I am not in my car for this clip. I know I'm just as shocked as you are. But yeah, so that's what's happening here. I have, I'm right about right about almost done, I think. I mean, I feel like I can finish this one by hopefully Thursday, and then I will try and get this one done on Saturday and Sunday, and that will not be enough time, I believe, to... Oh, no. Okay, looks like this vlog is not going up in April. Oops. Alright, that's okay. I will just have to be really cautious with how I talk about these in the wrap up. Alright, I'm gonna go make some dinner, and I will see you in the next clip. Okay, so I come to you with 2 finishes. So I got this one on audiobook, and I hated it. I hated every single second of it. One of the reasons I did get it on audiobook is because I had heard some negative things, and I just knew that if I were to read this physically, I would never have come out of it. So I just, no, this is gonna be 1 to 2 star max for me. No thanks. In the future, I will probably not be picking up from this author. The writing style felt very run-on. Like, I don't know, I just, like, there was no ending. Like, there literally wasn't an ending for a chapter, for a paragraph. Like, I mean, even, like, I mean, you could say that it was the narrator, and that would be fine. But, like, look, this is chapter 1. And this is chapter 7. There are 7 chapters. This is not the type of book that you sit down and attempt to read. This is something that you need to take notes on. It felt very realistic. Like, the thing that happened felt very real. I never doubted at any point in time that, like, I never questioned it. Never questioned reality. It was a lot, okay? And, you know, the sensitive topics didn't bother me. That was fine. It's just, I don't know. It just wasn't for me. And then I had been physically reading Not the Girl You Marry, and I sort of had distracted reading again. I'm finding that with romances, and like maybe the problem is that I'm not in the mood for romance. Maybe the problem is I'm in the mood for something else. Ironically, the one that I thought that was going to be where I'm trying to struggle here. I'm struggling to hold up these books. This one, the one I thought would be the worst and the hardest, well, worst, but like the hardest to get through for me was actually the best. Whereas I thought that this one would be pretty simple to get through. It's a thriller or a mystery or whatever, and I thought that I would love it, but I ended up reading it on 3 times speed and sometimes 3.5 speed just to get through it. And then I felt like this one would be sort of middle of the road for me, and I don't know, I think I thought that. That one got a 3-star. Okay, so as you just saw, I finally finished all 5, and my child is off screen here. And now he's going to sort of, I interviewed him at the beginning, asking him why he picked certain things, and now he's gonna turn around and do that to me.
So it'll be vice versa?
Mm-hmm. Do you have any questions?
A couple. Which one surprised you the most?
So the one that surprised me the most was Once and Future. I initially thought I was going to quite literally despise it because it's science fiction and fantasy, and it's YA. And all 3 of those things have been things that I've been struggling with lately, so I was surprised to find that I not only enjoyed it, but liked it enough to continue on in the series.
Would you give the most stars?
I'm gonna tie it because I'm giving both of these 4
So
stars.
Would you say 4 and 4?
Yeah, both of those are getting 4.
What did you think about Not the Girl You Marry? What would you say most impressed you about it?
The fact that the conflict was mutual.
Which one was the most happy ending, in your opinion?
This one had the most happy ending.
Which one was the most fun?
Most violent?
Yeah.
Ooh, tie.
I might say later.
This is a tie.
At the end of a story, which one?
Are you gonna ask me which one I like the best?
No.
Okay.
Which one made you the most happy, plus what you said?
This one made me the most happy when I finished it because I was done with it.
If I asked which one was the most romantic, you're gonna say that one, because that one is a romance. What gave you the most feeling of action? I probably knew you were gonna say that.
All right, say bye.
Bye.
Surprisingly enough, this one was a 4-star, and so is this one. 3-star. I'm going with 2.5 3-star, and then this one is 2 max, 1-2 max. So overall, would I do this type of experiment again? Yes. However, when and if I do choose to do it again, I will be limiting it to 3 books because 5 was a lot. It took me all month to read it. I think that I'm finishing this month, like quite literally, in the last hour. It is 9:10 on the 30th of April. And I have read these 5 books plus 5 more. And most of those were audiobooks. So this was not my best reading month. 50-50 is very new for me. I typically read more physically. Audio is something I reserve for books that I own, but I think I'll struggle to get through. This one here, and then I did read a book that I don't own this month, which you'll see in my wrap up, which hopefully that will be coming soon. I'm gonna film it as soon as I'm done with this one. So all in all, what did I learn? I learned that the 5 books that I selected for myself, I had an easier time getting through. Every single one of these, with the exception of the one I thought I would hate the most, every single book took like almost an entire week to get through, except for Girl A, which I just read in like 24 hours on 3 times speed, and it was just so much. But ultimately, I kind of knew that was gonna happen. When you don't select the books for yourself, you tend to struggle a little bit more with them. So should I do an experiment like this in the future with someone else selecting all the books on my TBR, I will do 3. And I won't do it for a while. All right, so that is it for today's video. This month's video. This is literally what I've been working on all month. So I hope that you found some value in this, whether it was entertainment while watching me struggle and you know, everything like that, or whether you are thinking of doing something like this for yourself. Definitely try it. Just don't be picky like I am. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you like me and would like to see more from me, please hit subscribe. I'd be so happy to have you. Alright, I hope that you are being safe, wash your hands, taking care of yourselves. Bye guys.